Sowing the Seed Series, Story 4. Jesus heals blind Bartimaeus, taken from Mark chapter 10, verses 46 through 52. Centuries have passed since God rescued Isaac by providing the ram on Mount Moriah. Yet everything that God promised Abraham came true. Abraham's descendants went down to Egypt and became a great nation. The Israelites, as they were called, were forced into slavery. After being in Egypt 400 years, God called Moses to bring them out and lead them back to the land God had promised to Abraham's descendants. Under Moses' leadership, the Israelites entered into a new covenant relationship with God as a nation. God's covenant with Abraham was unconditional. God told Abraham what he would do for him, and Abraham believed God. As a result, God gave Abraham his righteousness. But the covenant promises God gave to Moses were dependent on the nation's obedience to God's commands, enshrined primarily in the Ten Commandments. How could God fulfill his promises to Abraham when Abraham's descendants continued to reject God's commands and even worshipped other gods? The Israelites served the Lord during the time of Moses. However, after conquering the land during the leadership of Joshua, Moses' successor, the Israelites rejected God. So although they lived in the land God promised to Abraham, they were often under God's curse rather than his blessing. The nation needed a change of heart. Years later, when the nation demanded a king, God gave them a shepherd king by the name of David. David loved God with his whole heart, and during his reign, God gave David a covenant promise similar to his covenant with Abraham. God promised David that one of his sons would one day restore the kingdom to Israel and rule over the house of David forever. Because of this promise, Jewish believers often referred to the future Messiah as the Son of David. The main character in this story was a blind beggar from Jericho. Blind people depend on their hearing, and the people from Galilee loved to talk about Jesus, their prophet, the popular young rabbi from the city of Nazareth. The people of Galilee always came through Jericho on their way to the Jewish festivals. After crossing the Jordan River far to the north, they would travel south to avoid going through the territory of Samaria. The Samaritans were descendants from Jewish and Gentile mixed marriages, so they and their land were considered unclean. Then, like Joshua of old, the Galileans would cross the Jordan and travel through Jericho on the road to Jerusalem. For the past 3 years, they always talked about Jesus. Could the rumors be true? Was this teacher really the son of a virgin girl, a descendant of both King David and the patriarch Abraham? The Galileans said Jesus did incredible signs. He healed lepers, opened deaf ears, even brought the dead to life. The blind man listened and waited. A large crowd was coming his way. Then Jesus and his disciples came to Jericho. And as Jesus was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a huge crowd of people, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the roadside begging. When Bartimaeus heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth passing by, he began to cry out, saying, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." But many in the crowd rebuked Bartimaeus, telling him, "Be quiet!" But he cried out even louder, "Son of David, have mercy on me!" Then Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called to the blind man, "Take courage, get up, he is calling you." And Bartimaeus leaped to his feet, threw off his beggar's coat, and made his way to Jesus. And Jesus answered Bartimaeus, "What do you want me to do for you?" And Bartimaeus said to him, "Lord, I want to see again." And Jesus said to him, "Go your way. Your faith has made you whole." And immediately Bartimaeus' sight was restored, and he followed Jesus on the road. Sowing the Seed Series, Story 4. Jesus heals blind Bartimaeus, taken from Mark chapter 10, verses 46 through 52.